Hello, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. We're here to talk about the future success of the CPA profession. Now, we know you're busy and we don't want to waste anyone's time, so we're going to make this quick and provide just enough information for you to determine if you'd like to know more. So, we're not going to get into the weeds very deeply today, and as we've got your microphones muted to avoid feedback, but we know you're going to have questions. So, as we progress, write them down and I'll provide my email address at the end so I can personally answer your questions. Now, with that, our purpose here today is to provide a 30,000-foot overview of how the CPA landscape is transforming literally as we speak. And we'll tell you just a little bit about who we are so you can have confidence that what you're going to hear is coming from people who know because we work with it every day. We'll illustrate a huge need that is actually an opportunity specifically well suited for CPAs to offer a solution that's already proven itself around the world in the past 12 years. We are the Davishar Group. Our management team has worked with small business owners for over 4 decades. From our backgrounds in marketing, sales, advertising, and management, we saw firsthand that the advice business owners did receive was completely biased. And by that I mean they were being directed to spend money by the very people receiving the money. So not exactly unbiased. So since 2009, we sought to change that. Now we've served over 54,000 small business clients with over 1,150 profit advisors experienced in 125 business verticals in 29 countries around the world. So we expect those numbers to double in the next 2 to 3 years. Why? Because we haven't even scratched the size of this basic business need in which we're here today. So we know demand has already exceeded our capacity to serve the critical needs of small business owners in a timely fashion. So we're going to show you a target-rich environment based on the size of a very broad business need, along with a solution that's already proven yet still unknown to the vast majority of small business owners because it was typically reserved for Fortune 500 CEOs. Now we're going to show you how we work with CPAs to change that situation and what we feel is a natural progression to what CPAs already do will greatly benefit them as well as their small business clientele. As we mentioned, there's a very broad need. There are 33.2 million small businesses in the US. And here's the problem. History shows us that 50% or 16.6 million will go out of business in the next 5 years. And according to SCORE and US Bank research, 82% of those failures will be due to cash flow issues. That's 14.1 million business owners looking for a way to survive. And these are business owners that need qualified professional guidance. So you might ask, why are so many failing and what's causing the cash flow issues? Well, those are good questions, but in our experience, most small business owners aren't MBAs or marketing gurus, and they don't want to be, and we can't blame them. That's not the reason they got into business in the first place. Yet, most owners have no professional business training. So outside of franchises, most don't have a proven strategy. Many typically operate on a trial and error basis, and they mimic what they see competitors doing, even if it doesn't really work. And also they get salespeople from media companies, ad agencies, marketing shops, and others are hitting them up daily with one-off tactics they promote as integrated strategies, when in reality, it's simply all the stuff they have to sell. So owners will throw money at their problems until they no longer can, because that's all they know to do, and then they simply hope for the best. Ultimately, however, it comes down to they have few competent and trusted advisors with a vested interest in the success of the business, and we know this because, again, we see it every day. Because the problem is pervasive, 97% of all small business owners deal with similar challenges. And well, you may never have heard of Seth Godin, but in marketing, he's the Michael Jordan of business development. He's the guy people like Tony Robbins, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates turn to for advice. And one of the things we deal with constantly is the business owner's obsession with new business and how to get more of it. And while there's nothing wrong with that, new business is not the only way. It's certainly not efficient, and it doesn't guarantee more profit. So we work to open up small business owners to a bigger picture And one of those ways is, according to Seth, instead of solely looking for more customers for your services, find more services for your customers. And we agree. We're going to discuss how CPAs can apply this advice to the growth of their own practices. Amazingly enough, despite there being billions of consumers on this planet, there's still only two reasons to purchase anything. You either need something or you want something. That's it, just two. And when you're on the other end of the transaction and need to make a sale, you must appeal to one of these motivations. So what happens when your product or service appeals to both motivations? Well, you just doubled your potential revenue and income, just like that. However, there's a convergence of two issues coming your way that need to be addressed. This convergence will be a threat unless CPAs embrace it. The reality today is a full 76%, nearly 8 out of 10, small business owners surveyed believe their CPA is not proactive to their business needs, so they will seek out help wherever they can find it. Now, this threatens revenue for outsourced services currently handled by CPAs. Yet the good news is 72% still believe their CPA is their most important advisor. That's above their attorney, business banker, financial planner, etc. So they want to work with their CPA, they simply need more from them. To support what we're hearing from clients, here's a quote from a CPA colleague talking about CPAs. This sums up what we hear from clients, again, nearly every day. This is Ed Slott, founder and CEO of Ed Slott CPA, stating, CPAs tend to be good history teachers. We use a tax return to tell you what has already happened. The second issue is artificial intelligence taking on the traditional work that is currently handled by CPAs. AI, as is known, is taking on the tedious and time-consuming work typically outsourced to CPAs. Now, savvy CPAs at the forefront will harness this capability to reallocate their time or that of their staff. Now, AI is capable of analyzing much bigger data sets faster and more accurately than humans, and this capability is becoming increasingly accessible online. Now, AI is even doing compliance work, although I know a lot of CPAs will love that. However, competition is driving small business owners to seek more value from their business relationships. They're looking for innovation. That same innovation is what will future-proof CPA firms that embrace what can be very positive changes brought on by AI. SMB clients will demand deeper thought and definitive insight into their business to harness all possible competitive angles. So as business owners start to look elsewhere for help, CPAs offering only traditional services will be at a competitive disadvantage, further magnified due to perceived lack of proactivity and AI abilities to replicate some of the work SMBs currently outsource to their CPA. As Ray Wang says, the future is all about decision velocity. He notes that machines can make decisions based on algorithms 100 times per second. Now, this is an area where humans simply can't compete. So let's concentrate our talents and energy in more productive ways. For CPAs, that can easily mean more time to do the work you really enjoy or derive the most pleasure from. Wow, we're actually talking about AI and job satisfaction in the same sentence. So is AI a threat or an opportunity? Well, that's for you to decide. Now, regardless, here's a progressive depiction of what we constantly hear from SMB owners about their CPA. It graphically shows where CPA services fall into the proactive and then going into the reactive categories. You'll see some services like compliance that fall into both proactive and reactive because of the nuances in which it's used. Now, this is not an exhaustive list of services, but it illustrates how CPA advisory services start out proactive and then progress to almost entirely reactive. The problem for CPAs is right here. Business owners want and need business growth advice that is not an area CPAs traditionally want to wade into. Most feel they don't have the training, knowledge, deliverables, time, or confidence to adequately support such services. And we get it. However, as technology begins to take over the routine, tedious, and time-consuming work currently outsourced to CPAs, revenue losses to new technology's ability to bring some work back in-house is already being felt in the accounting industry. There's rumbling not only about revenue concerns, but there's concern about job losses and the ability to attract new talent. So demand, revenue, added value, job security, employee attraction, and realized profit are all great incentives to embrace technology and fill that time with more profitable and in-demand services. The good news here is there's light at the end of the tunnel. We know from our history of working with CPAs that they are in the most advantageous position to capitalize on this real need. CPAs can address a need, or should I say a want, that isn't being served by any other competent and trusted advisor. Now CPAs can begin to leverage to their advantage the very technology that others may see as a threat. Most business owners are smart enough to learn what they need to know on their own. They simply need to know where to find easy to implement tactics tied to a proven strategy that doesn't require a lot of time they simply don't have. And they need results literally right now, not next week or next month. Advising small business owners isn't difficult with an established system in place. Now, your firm can provide all the resources SMB clients need and want without the expense and time normally associated with coaching business clients. We make it easy, painless, and highly profitable for your firm, and we stay with you in perpetuity. So we don't set you up and then say good luck. Our sole purpose in working with CPAs is to ensure their success. Thus far, we presented the need, the size of the opportunity, the convergence of time and technology, the natural progression for higher level advisory services, yet we realize there are certain realities that typically CPAs don't see a comfortable path forward to conquering the challenges you see here. So let's briefly address each concern so that you can see how other CPAs around the world offer what their clients want without disrupting their own practice with a huge learning curve or time commitment. First up is time. What we hear a lot is, I don't have time. And we understand. That's exactly why we automated our online business academy. For 12 years, our CPAs have found that simply having a proven resource to offer their own clients in need without necessarily being profit growth experts themselves has been a game changer. Now CPAs can offer better advice than simply run another ad when their SMB clients are struggling or looking for ideas. Yet now there's a new motivation to consider as well. As we previously shown, AI when properly embraced can lead to significant time savings. That's time that can be reallocated to more profitable activities. Now we know CPAs won't be replaced by AI. However, their purpose could change dramatically, and from that perspective, we think for the better. This is an opportunity, as time saved from tedious and laborious tasks creates leverage for CPAs to better differentiate their firm from competitors by offering more valuable in-demand services. And here's 7 ways that automation is a good thing for your practice. Will take over time-consuming tasks now performed by humans. Yet automation is already moving past task management. Machine learning will continue to take over more complicated tasks, and as it does, it'll continually free up more time for CPAs to better utilize their experience and talent in working directly with business owners. As well, relatively new models like fintech and blockchain will keep CPAs on their toes in directing business clients venturing in this direction. Now, digital transformation also allows real-time connectivity for business clients to become more empowered and independent as such concepts such as DeFi begin to mature. And we can't forget cloud accounting. For years, CPAs have looked at setting up QuickBooks as part of their advisory services, and as businesses begin implementing cloud accounting into their infrastructure, it will enable them to access accounting services from any location by any person at any time necessary. This is exactly why CPAs will have to add value to avoid becoming a commodity. So let's look at expertise. Another valid reason we hear is, I don't have the expertise for this. We understand that too. And that's why we offer everything your clients need to know in a step-by-step, here's how you do it, systemic fashion, accessible from our automated online business academy. It's loaded with everything we've learned across 40 years from real on-the-street experience. It literally has everything from templates for email campaigns to joint venture partnership ideas and instructions. Again, everything your clients need. None of this is new in respect. It's been working for SMBs for the past 12 years. Now, this is a look at the Business Academy that would be branded to your firm or whatever entity you desire. It is fully automated, so your clients receive video lessons of what to do and when to do it, and in the correct order. It's locked down so they follow step by step. They cannot jump ahead. They get the next lesson only when they've completed the previous lesson. Now, automatic reminders go out prior to each lesson, so you don't have to do that. And also, just so you know, this isn't a bunch of videos emailed to them each week, as we will also provide online group coaching for those clients needing just a little extra guidance. Now, we do this coaching for you free of charge, so you don't have to spend your time doing it. Your clients will learn to do all the things they need to do to not only survive, but to flourish. Now I'm going to go through each one of these briefly. As you can see here, what we're taking a look at for the first 90 days is setting up that 7-figure foundation. This is critical for businesses that want to scale because they have to be able to handle the business once they get it. We also have for them a $2 million ad library and show them how to create competition crushing marketing. Now, we're not looking to make them marketers, but they need to understand the concept so they can ensure that all of their marketing works together. And then, of course, we're going to talk to them and teach them about financial secret weapons. This is the stuff that you already know by looking at their P&L. Okay, this is for the business owner that doesn't know what a balance sheet is or why they would need one, but it gets them more financially sound so they can speak to you and understand what you're telling them. And then we're going to get into more profit strategies. This is how they can expand what they're already doing well. We're going to talk to them and teach them about more leads so they know how to acquire more leads. And then more importantly even is how to do more conversions or get more conversions from those more leads. We're going to talk about more transactions from the more conversions from the more leads. And you can see how this is starting to compound on itself. We're going to talk about how to get higher prices and not lose any customers. Again, building into more profits. And if they're not at $1 million business already, we'll teach them how to get there. And if they need help with making sales, we have on staff sales masters. And although this academy is not accredited, you can build your own accreditation program for those that stick in with the program through its entire 52-week process and actually come up with what we call a virtual MBA. Now, as for deliverables, you are not required to develop any aspect of our service. It's all done for you. From opening the conversation with prospective clients to enrolling them, pricing suggestions, curriculum, expectations, resources, libraries, literally everything we've used in guiding clients is right here. We've done it all for you, from a $2 million proven ad library to accountability calls, the definitive programs that pay you each month. We've done all the heavy lifting for you. And as mentioned previously, you're not expected to be the expert. Just as you might refer your clients to a good attorney, you are the conduit that connects your clients to the resources they need to stay out of the 50% of businesses that close their door due to cash flow issues. And lastly, while we're only discussing the Online Business Academy today, you can see we provide scalability with additional guidance programs so your advisory services offerings never plateau. Now, how will most CPAs staff for this new service? Well, that's a great question, but for the most part, additional staff isn't required as this is not a time or labor intensive endeavor. Yet as you begin to scale this business, we will train any staff member for free in the necessary skill sets you deem appropriate for your end goals. Now here's a look at integration of property growth advisory services into your firm. It's simply another service you offer, yet it differentiates your firm from competitors. As for staffing, there's two considerations. First, the deliverables your clients need are automated, so there is little need for your staff to do anything beyond enrolling the client into your advisory services program. What we found is that clients need accountability. A 15-minute call once or twice a month to ensure the client is engaging in the content and, more importantly, implementing what they learn lets the client know you care and you're watching. This is simply another touch to keep your clients connected to you. While this is not labor intensive, it is the oversight some clients need in this do-it-yourself learning environment to get the help they need without paying the big bucks for a personal consultant. Secondly, with the time saved by integrating technology, some staff can be retained or retrained to act as an implementation specialist so technology doesn't cost jobs. Overall, CPAs can mitigate the risk when providing advisory services to SMB clients by exercising due diligence, maintaining open communication, and adhering to professional regulatory standards. Now, most of these CPAs already do. In the areas they may not, we've got them covered through clear engagement memorandums of understanding so both the client and the CPA know what to expect. Let me be clear. CPAs are not guaranteeing results, although we have some that do, as results are completely dependent upon the client implementing what they learn. At this point, we've addressed all the barriers to entry. Time allocated due to AI or from clients potentially bringing some services back in-house, and expertise is built into the Davishard platform. Deliverables are all done for you and updated as needed at no extra cost. Now, staff requirements are nominal, and employees may benefit from retraining opportunities. And risk management is done primarily through the normal course of business, as well as established protocols and memorandums currently in use worldwide. Now, we previously established market demand with proven research from reputable sources, as well as our own hands-on experience. So what would it mean to a practice if Davishard Group could help eliminate all the issues holding CPAs back? Well, let's finish up with some real-world examples of how CPAs are using the very platform we've briefly outlined here. Here's Doug Hoffman. Doug is an MBA, personal financial specialist, and CPA. He has 10 locations on the East Coast. Now, Doug ran for Congress and was the treasurer of the 1980 Winter Olympic Games in Lake Placid, New York. Now, I mention this only to illustrate Doug is obviously a smart guy. 10 years ago, he saw our platform as a way to take his advisory services to the next level, as he was sick of doing compliance work. He's a CPA that spun off his advisory services into a completely new entity. Of course, he kept his accounting firm, but he'll be the first to tell you his advisory services revenue dwarf his accounting revenues. Peter is a forensic CPA down under. Another seven-figure earner in advisory services, Peter owns his own accounting firm and has been a CPA for over 30 years. This is Jen DeVore Richter. Jen has taken her business in a little different direction. Having been the marketing director for NASA, Jen is heavily into teaching clients, especially female business owners, how to market correctly for effective profit growth and self-promotion so they are sought after in their markets. Jen is a seven-figure profit advisor based in Denver. We have Glennis Gassman. Based in New Zealand, Gigi, as we call her, has gone totally advisory services. She used to be a CPA and is now all about advisory services and profit growth. She says her personal satisfaction in her career change is off the charts because she sees the tangible evidence in how help is impacting her clients. Now, Glennis promotes her own G-Factor mentoring program and customized business coaching courses. Gigi, as with all the profit advisors you've seen here today, leverage the exact same platform the Davishard Group can make available to you to leverage as little or as much as you desire. And lastly, part of our job is to help you with the preeminence you need to differentiate your practice from all competitors. In that realm, we provide access to ghostwriting, a series of books, teach you how to podcast, have your own radio show, or even be featured in Small Business Breakthroughs magazine. Now just imagine a client or prospect sitting in your lobby browsing through a magazine with you on the cover. Talk about instant expert status, yet as always, these are options. You are not required to do any of them. So in closing, this is how it all comes together so all stakeholders benefit. Now, we've established the need that 97% of business owners all struggle with the same issues. Those same clients have told us that they trust their CPA more than any other advisor, So we know that CPAs are in the best position to fill that need. Now we also know that AI will continually provide more time and deeper business analytics that SMBs tell us they want and will seek out wherever they need to. And then of course, the Davishar Group will provide the technology and all the deliverables to make enhancing your advisory services a simple and easy to implement addition that pays you each month. And here's what it can mean to your firm. First and foremost, when you provide your current clients with a multitude of proven ways to grow their business without spending tons of money and just hoping for the best, they're not going to leave you for a cheaper rate across town. As well, when you can show prospects that working with your firm comes with a projected ROI in real dollars that can be documented by category in their specific business, well, you'll close just about all the new business you desire. Now, this ability alone differentiates your firm from all competitors. This is a value clients will see in their bank accounts. Now, how many of your competitors can say that? Plus, you'll be adding 6 to 7 figures of new recurring revenue in your own firm, as well as enhancing your own value as a thought leader in your community. And by the way, all these benefits to your firm are not best case scenarios. These are average for the CPAs that we work with. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. We invite you to take us up on how easily your firm can get more focused on what SMB clients want by looking through the windshield instead of the rearview mirror. Again, we didn't take questions today to avoid delaying the information you all came here today to learn about. However, if you have questions, please send an email to Tony@Davishar and I'll personally answer every question. Thanks again for being here. We appreciate your attention and hope this was a good investment of your time. Have a great day.